We look at the news through a horror lens. We lens news through horror. We horror news. Welcome to the Lost and Home podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Jeremiah.
Episode 370 fucking 4.
That's right. Well, that's not a big one.
It's really nothing. It's next week should be a
not
big
even
one.
A prime one. Last week with a prime one. This is very even.
Next one should be 375 if the
should be
math works out.
Yeah, I don't know if counting counts as math. I know math. Ew.
But, yeah, welcome back to another week of the show. I don't have a whole lot at the top to talk about this week. I didn't bring a funny new term in, like gooning or
gollywog.
I almost said pollywog. That's why I called myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's racist pollywogs.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's always, been
painting blackface and all the pollywogs. I don't know why the frog population's dying. Oh, maybe India ink isn't the best solution.
Just some little kid out there just dipping all the pollywogs in India ink. He's like, what are you doing? Racist shit. And just throwing it back in the water. And the ink just kills all the rest of them. Just like, see? What did I tell you? All these blackfish going into this pond killing all the regular fish trying to stay out there all day. I think it might be because you dip them in ink, sir. Shut up. Don't call me sir. I'm 4. All right.
But our Lost in Thought this week was based on something I found randomly online, and it starts to show off the founder of Pringles was buried in a Pringles can, and I did not know that until this many years old.
I didn't. I think it makes a lot of sense. The thing, so with the invention,
I love that you immediately makes a lot of sense. Like,
if I were to invent something,
I invented the iPod. I want to be buried in an iPod.
You don't think there's a little bit of fucking Steve Jobs' ashes in every iPhone we fucking create? You don't think a little dust of that guy is in every silicone
that'd be
chip?
Amazing! Like they actually get it down to like a micron. Like
yeah.
One
well, no, like literally
dust.
one little piece of sand. That even then, like one atom of Steve Jobs is in every iPhone for the next trillion years or whatever.
Could be.
Yeah. I think
we need to check those terms of services and that warranty and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely
go through it and be like, you own a dead man.
Yeah, you own a portion of a ghost, the ghost of Steve Jobs.
Does that mean because the final resting place of anyone who's buried or their ashes are scattered are considered protected? Like if you spread your ashes around a tree, they can't rip out that tree and develop that land because that's the final resting place.
Well,
so
I mean,
can I just start burying old iPhones?
I would imagine
in strategic places like. I never want to see this church get burned down and buried under the earth. Gotta tuck an iPhone under it.
I don't have time to completely fact check that thing you just said, but
assume it's true.
My guess is it's not true. My guess is you can't just spread ashes on anything you don't want developed and then suddenly it can't
I think
be.
you can. Like if my ashes were thrown onto a tree. And then they wanted to rip down the tree. Couldn't my family then be like, nope, that's his final resting place?
I don't think so.
I think
my guess is your final resting place.
That should be a weird law.
I bet if you look in, and I'm just going to guess here, my bet is if you look at the statutes, it probably determines your last final resting place as the fucking mortician or the mortuary that burned you in that fucking that little spot. I mean, I can't imagine. Otherwise, I'd be dusting, like, be like, like instead of people chaining themselves to trees, they can't like be like, just go dust a little Jerry under that tree, like save enough Jerry for everybody. Yeah. Although I guess final resting place, you'd have to do all of him. And they're like, oh, but then there's definitely no way that could be a lawyer
who's like only 1/8 of Jerry.
Yeah. They've got like some archaeologist.
Where's the other 7/8?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw on the window where some landed over on that guy's house, and he actually wanted to just put a addition onto it, and he's not allowed to now because that's there's Jerry's final resting place. Sorry, Jerry. Oh, other Jerry. I guess I have one name in my head. Sorry, other Jerry. You can't build that bathroom because that has other Jerry on it.
Just start a poppy field for opium production.
Yeah,
but sprinkle someone's ashes over it and be like, it's not illegal.
Yeah.
You can't burn this pot. You're gonna spread his ashes further, and then the entire acre is gonna be.
I say so. You're saying that it's so the feds can't burn it. I thought you were going to say so that the bad guys can't pick it because they definitely pay attention to American laws in Afghan poppy fields that, when you just throw...
No, the feds would come in and be like, get your blowtorch out. No, I think this is where Jerry died.
Yeah, a little bit of him on this whole acre. I found a little bit without any Jerry. Let's burn this one.
Can't desecrate his final resting place.
And then if this piece that doesn't have Jerry on it spreads to the rest, it's not technically us burning it. It's just a little of Jerry spreading...
You go to your office, like in a high rise, like you're in a corporate situation. Just sprinkle some of your mom's ashes on your very, very nice corporate owned, not your chair, the chair they supply you. And they'd be like, mine. I love that the new calling dibs is spreading somebody's ashes. Also, it would be extremely weird for me because my mom's still alive. So I'd be how did you get those? Those fingernail clippings you burn. Dibs. Put your living mom's fingernail clippings into a dry herb vape. Yeah. Turn them into ashes and then collect them in a vial and then just be like, this office chair's mine. Well, you're fired. You have to leave everything. That laptop's mine. That's my mom. Just sprinkle into the keyboard. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A lot of the keys don't work because the ashes. But Mom was never a fan of the letter T. You can see it after death.
So, all right, so we've got a guy buried in a Pringles can. That's how we got here.
Yes, so that got me down the rabbit hole, or the Google hole, as we used to say on the show.
I realized that when you were like, we should introduce this new thing called Lost in Thought, and then just last week I was like, we just renamed Google hole. All right,
pretty much.
But which is good, because now we don't really necessarily Google. We're all,
You can put it on a T-shirt. You can put Lost in Thought.
Exactly. It also doesn't have to be something. It also doesn't have to be
Google. Suable offense.
Exactly.
They'd be like, well, we copyright Google hole years ago. But then why didn't you use it?
You should have used it. It's perfect. But also, we don't have to, this stuff doesn't necessarily have to lead, even stem from or lead to Google. This is stuff you're literally sitting there going, hey, what's all that about? Or you read, and especially nowadays with ChatGPT, all the stuff that makes you, so you don't even have to go to Google necessarily. Lost in Thought. I like it's better branding. I prefer it, but the revelation came to me last week. I was like, wait a minute, cheating. This is just Google, but a much better branded version of it. Good, it's rebranding. Very good rebranding on your part. Thank you.
So I have something between 10 and 50. The numbering system broke down as I was adding them for reasons. We'll just say that. So I'm going to run through a bunch of these. I'm not even going to
this does not look like it's in order.
explain them unless they strike me as something that needs explaining.
Yep.
I'd rather you jump in when you hear one and you go, what the fuck? Okay. And ask for more clarification. So I'll run with this. These are ways you can be buried.
Right, yeah. Things you can be buried in, ways you can be buried, ways to scatter your scattered bodies go. I'm looking at that book right now. I've never read it. It's supposed to be pretty good.
And I purposely left out every time it was mentioned that you could get a guitar-shaped coffin or a race car-shaped coffin.
Well, yeah, because
it's different shaped coffins. Let's just start off with that.
You can do anything.
Different shaped coffins. Yeah. Boom. Okay. Done. Not even going to go there. Pyramids. Pretty self-explanatory, Egyptians.
Big one. Literally big and figurative.
I will explain this one mildly. The capsule, because there's variations on this. This one specifically is called Capsula Mundi. It's a project, is a concept of an egg-shaped burial pod that biodegrades and provides nutrients to a tree planted above it, and is one of the many, and I will say many because there were a lot, green burial options.
Yes, okay. Oh, yeah. So green burials, I was going to say, has become a big thing.
We can just call this one green burials.
Even in Vermont, it's not a green burial, but there's a big push for natural burials now, which was literally not even allowed decade or so ago, and they've pushed a lot of laws through that literally just let you essentially shallow bury without embalming or anything your family.
Yeah. Thank you.
They go back to the earth and they're like, oh, it turns out there's not actually a bunch of it's there, a lot of our modern burial techniques are actually more archaic than they seem, because it actually seems like I don't know. We know better nowadays. Like I've always posited, I mentioned it many times in this podcast. I either want to be donated to a necrophiliac who just wants to fuck a dead body, and I'm going to consent to it, go to town, come in my fucking dirty holes, all that good stuff. The Jeremiah Johnson story. Come in my dirty holes. But also the big one is the corpse farms where because they don't embalm you or anything, they kick you over a bank, let you rot, and then they put a little flag next to you with a number, and they go, hey, let's go check on fucking 762, see how he's faring down by he's been dead for 2.5.
That did not make my list, but it was an old episode of the show.
Yeah, 2.5 months ago he died, and we've let him fucking rot in this exact condition, and let's go see what his body looks like. Oh, that looks about like this body. We can actually determine with all of this. Now, there's probably AI that could probably do a better job. I don't have to this, but I still just want to be kicked over the bank by an old grizzled FBI agent.
Yes.
Is that one? No.
This one does. Some of these do require some explanation. Barbecue pit falls in line with what I said earlier I wouldn't cover, which is guitar-shaped, car-shaped coffins.
Oh, Uncle Luke.
This is Luther Uncle Luke Campbell, member of Two Live Crew, says when he dies, he wants his funeral to be a party and to be buried inside of a custom-made barbecue.
That's
pit.
Fucking dope. Yeah,
not a real thing. It's a thing that someone said they want.
Yeah. So this is like it's just one step more unique than a custom coffin to warrant a separate entry on the list, I think.
Space burials where you get shot into space, like Gene Roddenberry.
When I saw the capsule, I actually was curious if that's what that was, where they shoot a capsule into space. No, space burial, separate entry.
Beer kegs. This comes from Australia. There's a brewing company that has a limited edition 12 beer kegs that could also serve as urns for ashes.
Okay.
So, there you go. The Lego coffin. In 2015, a Danish man wanted who was a huge Lego fan, was buried inside of a coffin made to resemble like Lego bricks.
Okay.
I still don't consider this car, guitar, etc. I feel like Lego bricks is very interesting.
Yeah. It is a little more unique as opposed to just shaping a coffin into something. It's more of the substance itself. Yeah.
Diamonds. There's a company that puts you into diamonds.
Okay, they turned you into diamond. First of all, that is a rich-ass motherfucking 1%y way to go. Fuck you, but also, fucking kudos, man.
We're a little poor. My uncle's is Cubert Zirconia.
Yeah. Oh, my God, a bargain.
My fake uncle.
Oh, my God, that would be so good. Like, yeah, my uncle.
He was an uncle through marriage, so it makes sense.
Oh, but imagine that, like, promising your dying wife on her deathbed that you'll turn her into diamonds, being like, let's just go with the Cubert Zirconia. Because she won't fucking know. Yeah. She won't know. Yep. I mean, she didn't even know that your fucking the wedding ring you bought her was fucking cubic zirconia. You think she's gonna know after death that she is? Oh, that's a great horror movie. We're already creating new content. Like then the dude that's a Tales from the Crypt episode or something where the guy then gets haunted by his wife because the afterlife exists and she realizes she was made into cubic zirconia and fucking haunts this dude. That's a classic Vault of Horror Tales from the Crypt story.
Reef balls. That's where they put your cremated remains into concrete, make a ball of it, dump it on the ocean floor, and it creates a reef.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, because people I don't think realize when they think about like dumping like metal or something like that or concrete into the ocean, how as long as it's not like there is a
concrete's porous,
yes, and
will habitate life,
and metal and stuff too. Like there's a whole there's actually a great you can go online. It's been years since I looked at it. And it may have been on like This Is Colossal or something where there's a whole project and it was because of these places with disappearing reefs that need these habitats. They were taking these old train cars, old subway cars, and they power washed them, got all make all the hydraulic fluid, all the oil, everything out of them, and then just drop these clean pieces of metal into the ocean. And then literally 5 years later, you take a look at them and they're unrecognizable. They're awesome because it's uncanny, but they're just they become reefs. Like stuff can grow on that, and stuff can attach itself to it. It's not like plastic that kills the things in there. Metal and porous materials like concrete, you can dump in the ocean, and you'll be fine. Like dump a bunch of. Next time you have to get rid of some cinder blocks, pop out to a pond, dump them. Things will live in them. They're fine. All right, it's like wood. It's not like plastic. Fuck plastic. I want to start.
You learned it here first, Lost Zone podcast. Metal is not like plastic.
I also like the thought of nowadays people are going and be like, I want instead of plastic water bottles, they're doing like liquid death and great, awesome things like that. But people are like, I want to go the next and have literally cinder block concrete water bottles. So from now on, you just go in, you buy a 12-pack of water bottles, and it's just they're in these giant 2-inch thick concrete fucking glasses. Not glasses, I guess, but because they won't sell it, you got to top of glass.
As a music fan, I thought you'd like this one. Vinyl Records is a UK company
I've heard of this
will
one. I have heard of this
press cremated remains into vinyl.
I've heard of this one, and also there was reportedly like some record that was like it was all done under proper supervision, where somebody had gotten some of the blood drawn and actually put it into the record itself. So when it spins, like the blood is actually, you can actually kind of see it like sort of like water and oil, like it's sort of in there. And it's so and it's one of those very specific. You can't necessarily go. I'm sure there's some hazmat issues, is why you can't sell it out there like publicly. But for like a little art project of doing it yourself, nothing, because it's just acrylic. These vinyl, you can have it clear and then put anything you want in it, and it fucking looks cool. So
another eco-friendly one, the mushroom suit.
I was going to ask about the mushroom suit. Yeah, we've covered it on the show.
You get into a mushroom suit when you're dead, and you grow mushrooms off your corpse.
Yes, it's so cool. I saw like a Vice documentary about it. We talked about it on the show ages ago. It's very cool. An awesome way to go. I love mushrooms. You don't like mushrooms, but you probably at least respect what mushrooms do for the planet.
I do. I separately from me.
Yeah, just like you can respect what like I don't know, any other shit that you don't like the taste of does for the planet. It's like, you don't like the taste of it, you hate it. No, I just don't want to eat it.
Like Republican politics.
Yay!
I don't like the taste of it, but I respect for what it does for the planet.
Nope. Nope. Not at all like that. I have no respect.
Mummification, that's a pretty easy one to get.
Yeah.
Fireworks. There's a company named Heavenly Star Fireworks that offers incorporated cremated remains into your fireworks.
Oh my god, this might be my favorite one so far.
Yep, I love that one. Glass art.
Makes sense, because you turn like sand into glass, right?
A little bit of ashes in the glass.
Yeah, because it's like sand makes glass, right? So you do that under so you just mix a little ashes into the sand. And boom, perfect.
Done. And the last one, body plastinization. And I'm going to read this. Although controversial and not commonly used as a burial method, plastinization preserves the body in minute detail and is used in anatomical displays. This process was popularized by the Body Worlds exhibition, which was a touring museum exhibit.
Yeah.
Where you saw the people with their skin off, just their muscles, lower where it was just bones. But those were real people.
Yes. Yeah.
So that is my entire.
Can I add one to it?
That's my entire morbid list.
I'm going to add one to it, and that would be Rolling Stones. Keith Richards snorted his father's ashes, so you could also get smoked or snorted or something like that by somebody.
You make like Coolio could become a coolie, where he taps out the end of his cigarette, packs some Coolio in there,
exactly,
and then you have a Coolio.
Yeah. Coolio.
Because a coolie is a cigarette with, I believe, either weed or coke at the end.
Yeah.
It's when you add something to a cigarette.
I know a lot of people who do the where you, I've heard of people who know a lot of people, not outing a bunch of my friends. I play music. I know a lot of people who will just, they'll just, there'll be some coke on a plate. They'll just fucking, put their little,
that's a coolie.
Yeah, and they'll mash it, and apparently, essentially, I'm like, you just essentially, you're like, okay, this is what you do. Like, I would never smoke crap.
You're making them crack at the end of a cigarette.
Yeah, sure, you're not, cutting it and all that kind of stuff, but you're smoking your cocaine. But I bet it's great. I mean, I don't smoke anything, so I'm sure it's awesome, and it just adds a little boopity boop. People do it, they love it. That's a coolie. I don't know if that's a coolie, but that's a thing.
I was trying to think if there's other ways where you do this. I guess plasticization was mentioned, but me, I'm a toy collector.
Yeah.
There's really no reason why you couldn't ask for a custom toy where your ashes are in the plastic.
Now, would you want a custom toy that's actually made to look like you, or you would want to make yourself into a fucking Star Wars toy or something?
You could. I mean, there's already.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you personally.
Hasbro already sells for I think $80 a pop a 6-inch action figure of a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
But they scan your face. And then they put your little plastic head on it, so it looks like you.
Cool. So you get to be one of the worst.
So theoretically,
people. No, but I was asking.
They also have X-wing pilots and Jedi's. You
pay a few extra bucks, get a real premium. Yeah.
But I'm thinking you can get one of those. Literally, just take the foot off.
Yeah.
Melt it down, put your ashes in it, reform it, stick it back on.
Oh, so you could do it personally. But if there was a company that did that, would you prefer to have one that looked just like you, or would you prefer one to look like you were Chewbacca and you just happen to be an essence of Chewbacca?
None. My hobby's not my life. I would like my ashes to be treated with a little bit more.
No, but in this case,
dignity.
it's your hobby's your death.
I was going to say, I'm not even a vinyl collector, and I think that's cooler.
True, yeah, it is cooler. First of all, you get to be a part of music. like literally a song as opposed to a
I
stupid
just
thing in
got
a box.
kept hard.
Yeah.
No, your ashes cannot be part of this record. You're not a musician.
Oh, yeah.
But I really like this album. Were you on it?
I'd like to be in it. If you weren't on it, you can't be in it.
Dead poser.
Yeah. We can actually, all we've got is Beck's Loser. That's all we can put you in. Oh, okay, I'll take it. Actually, it'd be a pretty sweet record to be part of.
Yeah, you were more of a roadie, honestly. We might, I don't know, find some chew and just sprinkle your ashes on that.
Yeah. Well, we can. Well, the best, okay. Talk to my guys. The best we can offer you is make you into a spittoon, so other people spit into you.
Yes,
just like real life. Okie dokie. No, I wasn't gatekeeping. I was asking you just what you liked. You know, what you prefer. But
no, I got nothing on that because my geekiness doesn't mean life.
But we're not talking about life. We're talking about death. You know?
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be memorialized as a action figure.
No, for me, I would like that's like the eco burials make a lot of sense. Or again, like something where like my dead body could serve some kind of worth because like again, like give me to a cannibal. Like if it's gonna save maybe somebody, like I'd really love to eat a person. Like no, that would be horrible.
I really have to eat a person.
Yes,
you need
exactly.
to save them.
Yes, I have to. I don't.
A starving, an anorexic cannibal.
Yeah, exactly. The reason you're like, she's not anorexic, she's just starving. She only eats people. Yeah. I will help. I'll do it. Give me 46 more years. Actually, that's 40. I could probably live to that.
That could be a fun dark comedy too. The anorexic cannibal.
Oh my god.
Like, I really want to eat Jerry, but like I'm thinking about the pounds, and I don't like the way I look in this bathing suit.
Yeah, she's not anorexic. She's just a vegan cannibal. So she just can't. So she just can't eat anything. She just is literally starving. She's like, no, it's not anorexia. It's not a disorder where I don't want to eat or I can't eat or I got body dysmorphia. This is I just don't want to eat people because I have too much like. But the only thing that I can like, although the vegan zombie, that would be something. A vegan zombie movie.
Okay.
Impossible brains. Impossible brains.
I like that.
Okay, so stupid.
The only thing they could eat is like poison ivy from DC.
Yeah.
Or an ent from Lord of the Rings.
Oh god, I do like the thought.
Anything sentient made of plant would be cannibalizing, but being vegan.
Oh yes,
they eat poison ivy, an ent.
Yeah.
Finn from Adventure Time's brother.
Sure, you got the deep cuts on this one.
He's a plant.
Old Scotty deep cuts, they call you. Old Scotty, no sound design.
Oh, you can eat that one gremlin from Gremlins 2.
Yes, that's right.
The one with the vegetables growing out of it.
I just see literally see somebody like at one of those crazy Hollywood auctions, auctioning off that one gremlin from Gremlins 2, just starving like, I fucking need this, man. I fucking hate all the ends. I fucking hate all the poison ivies, and they haven't invented
all the poison ivies.
Yeah. But I do like the thought of a vegan zombie movie where they do invent impossible brains. So then, sort of like True Blood, where they're like, "Oh, we invented synthetic blood, so you can like live amongst us." Just update that for modern day.
You could eat that root baby from that Dutch horror film.
Groot. No.
You can eat Groot. You can eat Groot. You can eat Groot. But the Dutch horror film has a foreign title. It's never been dubbed in American English. It's the one where they have the root baby. It drinks blood.
Oh, Little Otik?
Yes,
that's a Czech movie, yeah.
Yes,
from the Czech Republic. Yeah, Little Otik.
I'm just trying to think of sentient plants in life.
Little Otik is a movie by Jan Svankmajer, who was a big.
It was a good movie.
Left a really good impression on the brothers Quay, who left a big impression on Fred Sturr, who committed suicide, I think, who was the guy who made all the Tool videos. I mean, the stop motion ones. Again, he's a. Jan Svankmajer was a Czech stop motion guy. Fucking amazing stuff.
Oh.
Check out his. Alice is a really weird, crazy one. If you ever checked out
that was an
his version of Alice in Wonderland,
and I'm going to ruin it all.
Good. Thank you.
You can eat Bellsprout from Pokemon.
That's going on to Florida, man. No, yeah. I don't know. Impossible Brains, the movie. Let's work on it.
I love it.
You got
Impossible Brains.
Impossible Brains. No, literally, it's just True Blood. True Blood did the same thing, but they're just like, let's make blood that's synthetic. But then you've got like a whole faction of zombies like, we want the real shit.
I have a bottle of that with the Asian label.
That's
how they sold it, because it was a Japanese product in the show.
Yes,
it was revolutionizing the entire world.
Me and
I have a bottle of that with the Japanese lettering all over it. The little True Blood.
Jason Northrup bought a 4-pack of it. We drank it during an episode of 4. It didn't taste good. Didn't need to. It's probably was supposed to be collected. I did not collect it. We drank it.
I collected mine. It's on a shelf with the Duff energy drink.
Nice. That's pretty sweet.
Which actually I found Five Below just came to our local area. They sell the Duff energy drinks. So it's just like a Duff, just looks just like a Duff beer can.
See, dude, that's the thing is
that's what I did with mine. I put it on a shelf. I'm like, Duff.
I don't drink much for energy. I drink some sugar-free Red Bull from time to time, but most energy drinks just taste absolutely awful.
Yeah.
I am enough of like I'm like, oh, boo advertising, marketing, but every once in a while something gets through. I'm like, fuck, I would probably buy a shitty energy drink if it was Duff energy drink.
Do you know that QAnon followers don't like Monster energy drinks because they consider the 3 lines on it to be the 666, and there's a cross somewhere on the bottom of the can, and when you drink it, you tip the can upside down, so you're looking at an upside down cross. Yeah,
the answer would be to put an upside down cross on the can
to then make it a normal cross. I mean, these people are not exactly rocket scientists.
They are not. Most of these people probably also subscribe to the flat Earth theory. I bet that there's a good overlap between QAnoners and flat Earth. I just bet. Flat Earth has been dying.
If you hold the flat Earth upside down, it looks like an upside down cross.
Oh God. Oh yeah, these people are not wise. All right, we're talking.
So I added a Florida Man segment because I am so sick of all Florida news being dystopian hellscape DeSantis Nazism.
Not like the good old dystopian hellscape.
It used to be so
just good, fun dystopian hellscape of like people just eating people's faces and throwing a alligator through a drive-through.
What happened to bath salts?
And those things are still
our second year of the show. Yeah. We covered bath salts a lot. What happened to them?
They apparently got all taken by the Republican Party and they decided to make it into their entire platform.
That's the most logical answer I actually could come up with on my own. Outside of, I think they got banned in the sense that you can't just easily get them.
You can't, but they've been banned for, like, even when we did the show, they were banned to get them in that certain way. Like, they used to just sell them as bath salts, and then you could get them, and they got banned ages ago, but you can still find what bath salts are, which is also not really a single thing. It's just a mash of really terrible fucking, go listen to our early episodes.
Yeah,
you'll get one.
We covered
about that. But, so, I'm with you on this, is that, all Florida news, it used to be you would get really fun Florida news. Now it's so dominated by fucking just bigotry, and I mean, it was the most recent one, the freaking Amanda Gorman, right? Is that her name? The great poet who read that awesome poetry about hope and everything from at the inauguration, and it was really beautiful and hopeful and everything, and but it has to do. And
her inaugural speech was banned from schools.
Yes,
but then again, I don't want to sound like I'm pro-Republican at all, but how many 5th graders were like, oh, I can't find that inaugural speech for Obama.
No, but it was literally. No
one was looking for.
No, but it was literally somebody was told they weren't allowed to read it. Somebody wanted to, and they were told they were not allowed to read it. Yeah. So it already happened, and also, I mean, it was a graduation. It was like a fucking senior who wanted to read this thing for the graduation. This is a senior who is going to be a full-fledged adult if they aren't already,
and is now a super Democrat because of that.
Yeah,
if they weren't before,
if they were reading Amanda Gorman's poem, they were already Democrat.
But I'm saying if they weren't before, they are now.
You have entrenched them and probably a bunch of other people in the school who were not political, who were like, "Wait, what the fuck?"
Yeah,
a black girl fucking read something about hope. Great, okay. Yeah. Oh, boo.
No, I feel like Florida's just creating the next generation of unstoppable mutant nuclear waste liberals, toxic Avenger level new liberals.
I was actually just last night.
I mean, they're doing the radioactive road, so they're halfway there.
I was just thinking this last night about how I wonder if MAGA ultimately was a psyop, a plant by the liberals. Again, this is not true, by the way. I want to let everybody know this is not a real thing, and it's ridiculous. But because the MAGA extremism is actually turning so many places a lot more people turning, bluer and bluer in Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, which is already a purple state, getting bluer. Texas, we always are told is getting bluer. It's luckily, but with all the school shootings and shit like that, with nothing being done, certain things, because they have to embrace MAGA extremism. Ultimately, when we look back 25 years from now, is it going to be turns out the best thing for the Democratic Party was dealing with 8 years of absolutely terrible, really since 2010 with the Tea Party, where it really started down this path.
Oh my God!
So let's say okay, we had to deal with 30 years, or one generation's worth of absolutely terrible policies and moving backwards. But ultimately, it moved the country in a more progressive direction because of the extremism that ultimately implanted itself in this entire bi-party, two-party system. If it weren't a two-party system, it'd be a different thing. There'd be a completely different wing. Old Republicans would be their own, but they can't do that. They have to be like, we have to embrace 30% of the party wants.
With the attack on schools, we are having an entire generation also not do science class and instead color the Confederate flag for an hour.
Yeah, and not be exactly. Yeah. Oh, there's no black crayons in this box. That's right. CRT. Oh my God!
Our printer's out of toner. Yeah, not getting any of that. That's black toner. We'll put it in white. Right. We'll put it in white toner.
White. I can't read it. That's by design, motherfucker.
Kids are literally bringing in like squirt bottles of lemon juice to like break out the invisible ink.
Yeah, I know that seems a little too chemically to me. Okay, ban them. CRT.
Lemons picked by immigrants.
Yeah, exactly. Used to be. Remember the old? Remember back in the old days, we used to be able to get lemons. What? That because we used to allow people to come into this country and work
at half the cost, at 1/8 the cost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the only reason we still have
those moochers.
The only reason we have an agricultural industry whatsoever. But then people are like, why are my peaches so expensive?
I threw up that warning on Facebook. I think you might have seen it like 2 weeks ago, where I was like, everyone get ready for produce to go through the roof in price.
Yeah.
No one's picking the crops. 50% of tomatoes come from Florida. You loving these dollar tomatoes right now? They're about to be $10.
Yeah. Help yourself, buddy.
I made a post on that. I got no traction. I'm like, well, you guys all just sit there and
I think you watched the all of the John Olivers you caught up on when he had that one about the farmers and the migrant workers and stuff, and that guy just being like went out to the community and said, I have all this asparagus that can't be picked, so come down, bring a basket, pick your own asparagus. PYOA, and just have a good time, pick your own asparagus. PYOA.
I think about it too. It's not like BYOB. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
I actually don't know how I got it that quick, because it would have been BY. I was like, I definitely had to have gotten that wrong, but I guess. But yeah, so but it also was a crop that should have been picked that would have brought the prices down, but now that entire crop was not in the market, which means now there's less for people who still want a thing that's already fucking expensive, because asparagus is expensive.
My boast was accurate. No one cared, and I'm like, I don't care. I threw out a little hopeful financial tip.
Well, and the thing is,
buy your veggies now and enjoy them now, because later in the year you're going to be eating chicken as long as the bird flu doesn't kick in.
Well, and even then, there's plenty of things that can cause. I was thinking even I'm curious to see where our local farmers market prices go after the recent frost we had, things like that. Certain things that are going to affect the market. There's going to be a shortage of certain things.
Look at that, climate change and immigration, two things we try to fix as liberals.
Yeah, and guess what? The things that people bitch about, or I don't know, I love the people who are so immediate to bitch about the gas prices, but then fucking queers, fucking drive electric cars. I'm like, yeah, electric cars won't fix everything, but is at some point you can move when was the last time your electric bill literally doubled or more than doubled over the course of a summer? Does it go up? Yes. But does it literally double compared to the...
Actually, it has in 5 states this past
spring. Oh, really?
Spring.
Yeah.
New Hampshire and Maine were 2 of them, so I worried about Vermont and looked it up, and Vermont said they were getting a 5% increase, not a 500% increase.
Yes.
People in Maine were paying $100 for a 2-bedroom apartment. Now they're paying $400.
But where do they get all their fucking energy from too?
From whatever their current provider was. Basically, certain states are suddenly jacking it up. So yes, that is happening.
But that's also a terrible thing when we also don't have fucking price gouging in place. But again, the thing I'm talking about is shortages where we can control. It's a local thing. So in other words, a war in Ukraine shouldn't affect the electric prices in your backyard. Other local factors do.
Corporations.
Other local factors do. Yes.
No, that CEO needs his $5 billion bonus this fall.
Well,
so how do you get it?
And I guarantee you,
rape your customers.
And what they see is they're like, well, these energy prices are going up. People expect to pay more for energy. This is how I can get away with it. So. If suddenly we're just like, well, this is a way.
Our state's one of the few in our region who is doing a modest increase, not a catastrophic, apocalyptic increase.
Because electric is definitely one I notice when it goes up for sure. Because I don't pay for my own.
Oh, I track my electric on a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I've been fighting it. I've already saved $600 this year compared to last year in electric.
Well, because you've paid like close attention to like turning things off, shutting down, like shutting off, like actually unplugging stuff versus just turning things off.
Now, I've gone more extreme. There's no quality in life difference in our house, but we have actually banked $600.
Well, yeah, unless you consider
January.
Quality of life being like, oh, I have to unplug and remember. But like the second it becomes, what does it take? A couple weeks for it to become a part of your habit, and then it's just part of something you do every time. It doesn't impact. You can still watch what you want. You just have to go like this, and then you can watch it. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, because I've started doing that a little bit, like this little energy thing I have here. Like it has a hard shut off, so it like doesn't draw any power. But so everything in there, when I'm done with it, I click it off, and it slowly shuts down. Boom, 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 and like stuff like that, and keeping a few things off. Like it's not a huge like change, but like a $10, $15 a month change is pretty big. It's 10%.
I don't worry about energy efficient light bulbs, and I don't worry about my TV because that literally costs nothing to run. It's so energy efficient, it's insane. Outside of that, everything else gets
I would say that, but if it is energy efficient, but I did notice when my TV went, which was energy efficient TCL 75-inch, I essentially didn't watch TV. My fucking bill went down almost $20 that month. But that was just because I wasn't watching TV, period.
Yeah, I'll pay that $20 for TV.
I was going to say, but like that, like, so I just wasn't watching TV, period. So like, if you didn't watch TV at all, it'd be one thing, but you're talking about like, oh, just not, do this extra little thing, which is like, yeah. Like it's going to be, if you're plugging it in, if you're watching it, it's going to be as efficient as it can be. It's, you're not about to stop watching TV. Anyway, moving on.
All right. First Florida man story of 2, because I found 2 that met our old criteria. 8 years ago, 7 years ago when we started the show, this meets our criteria.
Yeah.
Man loses arm in gator attack behind Florida bar. This comes out of Port Charlotte, Florida. In Florida, officials say a man had his arm severed in an attack by a massive 10-foot alligator during the early hours on Sunday. The gator attack took place at a pond located behind the well-known Banditos Bar in Port Charlotte. The victim, 23-year-old male, sustained severe injuries and was immediately airlifted to Gulf Coast Medical Center for urgent medical attention. Authorities from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission arrived at the scene as they tried to capture the enormous reptile responsible for the attack. Patrons of the Banditos Bar said alligators have been spotted in the vicinity on previous occasions. One customer, David Lowe, speaking to WBBH, claimed to have known a large alligator that had been present in the area for approximately 2 decades. So we're thinking this is a 20-year-old, minimum 10-foot-long alligator, and this drunk doing his drunk thing. I'm guessing he fell down, passed out, probably arm in the pond.
Yeah.
He's not behind the bar, but
and there's just
his back to the brick wall, smoking a cigarette, and it's like, raw.
Yeah, this isn't like this isn't like Alligator the movie, which are actually awesome, great creature features from the 80s, if anybody wants to watch Crocodile or Alligator. Anyway, either of them are fine, but Alligator 2,
there's
very
even
fun.
that modern one about the flood.
Oh yeah. Any alligator attack movies, that Rogue and Blackwater, the original one. Blackwater is probably the best of all of them that I've seen. This giant crocodile movie. Crocodile movies, alligator movies, love. But yeah, you're talking about the that one. That one with the guy, the French director.
I can't think of the name of it. I'm trying. I'm bringing it. Nope.
Yeah, the director from High Tension and all that, Alexander Aha.
There was no way this guy was like attacked.
No, exactly. No, he passed out.
He passed out,
and he gave them a good old fucking bunch of nibble and stuff, and
they
just came along.
A hot dog he was trying to eat to sober up in his hand, and the gator's like, I just want the hot dog, but the hand's part of the package. It's a package deal.
And damn well, this is like one of those really good moral, like ethical, alligators, alligators, right? Yeah, where he's just like looking there, going, "Hey, I'm gonna give him 10 minutes, see if he moves."
Yeah,
because this could just be a kid like trying to with their head.
Security camera, the alligator comes up, snuggles a little bit with him, like
pokes a little bit. Yeah. You know, like how your cat licks your eyelids to make sure you're awake before they decide to eat your face.
Eat you.
Yeah, it's sort of like that. All right, so we got that. So and again, remember this shows you the changing times. Granted, we've been doing this we're going on 10 years next year. It will be 10th year. So I get that
they killed the alligator because it was woke.
Oh,
sorry, I didn't finish the story.
That's where woke alligators go.
they use they them pronouns, so
Yeah.
they put down them.
Yeah.
Oh, this gets confusing.
Yeah.
I'm not even Republican, but the they them pronouns bug me because when talking in normal parlance, it gets confusing wicked fast.
I always used to do it accidentally, so it didn't really bother me. I just accidentally I was grammatically incorrect.
Flipping the ways you should talk, where it's like,
because is this a plurality or is it a generality?
Your wife wants to know if that one person's coming to dinner. Like, yep, they're coming over at 5. Does that mean 2 people? Should I make 4 plates?
Yeah.
It suddenly becomes a little thing.
Yeah. I can see that. Granted, it doesn't mean plurality by default.
I was thinking of them earlier. Yeah. Well, who were they?
Yeah.
Because it's a plurality thing. It's, if you want to, I think if you want to do they them, there needs to be a brand new pronoun that literally just, like we talked earlier, we need new pronouns.
Yeah.
Maybe one that just
replaces
has them, so it literally does say I'm blind.
Has they and them, but
without a plurality.
But I always use they them as a generality. Like anyway, now it doesn't mean I was ever right about it. Just now like people have caught up to me being wrong. But I actually have never looked into whether or not they them was always a plurality or if it was a generality or a plurality.
It's always been ambiguous in my head because you'd say like I could ask you right now.
I feel it's contextual.
Is John coming over later? And be like, yes, they are.
Yeah, that's a contextual thing. I'm not talking about 2 people.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a contextual thing. So,
yes, that's what gets me. Is like I'm fine with people's pronouns, but I feel like we could maybe find it's an English language. We invented every
that'll be great. People love it. We just invent new shit to call people. That's exactly gonna work. That's definitely gonna work.
A T-shirt with a rainbow tomorrow once we come up with that brand new pronoun.
Yeah, exactly. And you're the people we need to reach. The people who will appreciate that rainbow fucking T-shirt are the people we definitely need to get to pay attention. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to, the people who don't do it aren't going to pay attention, so it doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore. Things are futile. Actually, I think I'm out of pickles. I need to get some more.
I thought I saw pickles.
There's a pickle jar. It's pickle juice.
Okay.
There might be a chunk of pickle in it.
As an ex-cook, chef, whatever, I will empty a jar of, anything pickled. I will keep the jar with the juice in it in the fridge until I find a thing that's going bad. Say I have some jalapeno peppers in the fridge. Then I'm like, a couple more days, they're going to mold. I'll slice them up, throw them into that jar, seal it really tight, put it back in.
It works. It's essentially
naturally pickle.
Yeah, it works. Like there's that, and there's I like
not even quick pickling
like
or
boiled.
anything.
Yeah, I like
still pickles.
Like boiled eggs and stuff. Same kind of thing. Just pop those in some pickle juice. Like you don't need anything fancy. It's not like big pickling. It's just like something a little bit better than So I had that. There might be like a half a pickle in there, but I was like, I might just use this. Just use this pickle. Like it's a kind of vinegary kind of thing. It's like a salty vinegar. I'll use it on something at some point.
Pepperoncinis. Whenever I buy a jar of those, which is kind of rare,
those,
I do make sure I keep the pepperoncini juice because it's such a distinct flavor, and once you meld it with another thing,
because those pepperoncinis
it becomes 2 distinct flavors that just have this marriage.
I love pepperoncinis, man. I love those. Yeah. Those yellow, hot yellow peppers.
You came over to my house and I made those. I took Italian sausage and stuffed pepperoncinis.
Yes,
and then grilled them.
Yes.
No, I baked them and then grilled them, I think. But memories are slippy.
Yeah. Memories are slippy.
But you remember the Italian sausage stuffed pepperoncinis?
Absolutely.
They were so fucking good.
But speaking of memories, what I was getting at here is it's crazy because I remember at one point we put essentially not a hard ban on Florida Man stories for web droppings, but we essentially said, listen, from here on out, if we want to do Florida Man stories, they're not going in web droppings, they're going in a Florida Man segment because there were too many Florida Man stories. Now it sucks. Now we're like, we get to do a Florida Man segment
because we have a sting before it. Did we have an audio clip too?
We never did. That was one we always promised. We're like, insert clip here. That was one we always had.
Really?
That we had put out to people to we could but it happened so infrequently. But now even more less so, or less frequently more.
Oh, this is the last time we're doing the Florida Man thing, unless some really crazy shit comes.
But it is like it's a throwback. It sucks that it used to be so prevalent, and now because of the type of, it'll be a good day in history when suddenly these are the stories that come out of Florida all the time again. We're like, okay, we've made some progress as a society. Anyway,
next story out of Florida. Shark gets out of water, bites man fishing off dock in Florida Keys.
Love it. No, this one really is a little bit more like an attack story.
Oh, it crawled on land.
Yeah. It was getting close to
like,
evolving. Yeah,
like at some point that guy had to hear like slap.
Yeah,
slap.
Well, I would be afraid, but it's clearly just a normal fish. It wouldn't be a shark. Sharks don't come flapping out of the water to come eat people like me. I'm going to smoke this cigarette in peace. Ooh, it's a good coolie. Spread that on some more cocaine right there. And, oh, God, the cocaine's thinned my blood enough to now where I'm bleeding out from what this shark attack done shack me. Yeah. All right, so
what would be a reverse coolie? Like, would you just snort tobacco with coke?
Yeah.
Or would you like
you dust a little bit of tobacco on your coke and then snort it, because it would be the opposite way.
Because that's what we want: bigger particulates.
Yep. After spending like 20 minutes dicing down your cocaine, just spread these giant leaves.
Don't even touch them.
Yeah, like giant full leaves of tobacco. It's like still like flapping out of their nostril, like oh my God.
Yeah. Then you spend like 30 hours just coughing up a coolie ball like a cat. And then the real hardcore drug addict. So don't waste it. Don't waste it.
Come on, just like sitting there with like a plate underneath him. You got this coolie ball, patting him on the back. You got this, man.
You gotta dry it. Put it in an air fryer.
Dry it like jerky, like a fucking meat dehydrator. Yeah, as you see, these are all my coolie balls. Gotta dust those off, chop them up, and gotta go again. Round 2. All right.
So this story comes out of Summerland Key, Florida. A man was attacked by a shark while fishing. Sorry, I have hiccups. This whole show might be punctuated with very weird.
You should smell a raccoon's butt. That's reportedly also possibly fakely Bo Jackson did to attempt to cure his hiccups that he's went to surgery to cure.
I know if I ignore mine long enough, they'll go away.
Yeah, just like your children.
Oh, that is not true, first of all.
It's not true. That's the only reason I would say it. If that was remotely true, I would not have said that.
I had to preface that in case my kids are listening and he didn't even try to say it wasn't true.
You're like, oh, it's true. It's so funny. It's true.
He laughed harder than I've ever heard him laugh before.
Oh, yes. I can't wait. I look forward to ignoring them later this year. It's going to be great. But yeah, we...
I didn't see them laugh that hard because he saw that homeless man overdose on reverse coolie.
Look at him. He's choking on it. He didn't dry it enough in the meat dryer.
Homeless people don't have meat dryers.
Yeah, Dad, it'd be great. Yeah, that's right. Just like the natural
they were both
tanning.
Just calling dehydrators meat dryers.
You're laughing at a man dying from a reverse coolie. You're not the smartest guy. A meat dryer. Oh, God. He didn't try enough. Dad, can we go home?
He doesn't even have an outlet in his box.
When you said you had some plans, some ideas for us to go, we thought maybe Six Flags. So we're gonna watch some more people die. Oh God. Oh well, I liked it better when you ignored us. All right. Anyway.
All right. Deputies said the 35-year-old victim was fishing off a dock on Flagship Drive on Summerlin Key when the attack happened at 8 p.m. at night. According to the sheriff's office...
Oh, by the way, that's a big peeve of mine. 8 p.m. at night. It's 8 p.m. or 8
I know. I heard myself say it.
I know.
And
you and I share it.
I kicked myself mentally.
You and I share it. I hear people say it, like Ben Kissel on last podcast on the left. Yeah, says it all the time. And I'm fine. I get it. Totally. I don't really.
When I was using the ATM machine at 8 p.m. tonight.
Yes, exactly. ATM machine, PIN number. Actually, I
couldn't remember my PIN number putting into the ATM machine at 8 p.m. at night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, okay.
How many extra words can I put into this
colloquially, I totally understand. I don't usually correct people about it, but I also know that you have similar peeves. So the second you said it, I'm like, you're reading from a poorly written article. Yes.
Nope. I inserted the at night.
Oh yes, okay, good.
That's why I kicked myself extra hard.
You said
I added that.
Yeah. In case you're one of those places where 8 p.m. happens first thing in the morning. Which, I mean, depends on your what you consider morning. But yes, anyway.
Sorry. Here's a confession. You know how I always say, I'll meet you at noon 30, or I'm going to be up till midnight 30?
Yeah.
I still have a hard time grasping which one when you say 12, and it's 12 a.m. and 12 p.m., which is which. Like
I will say it is
midnight, 12 p.m. or 12 a.m.
And of course, it's 12 a.m.
And the opposite. So I have taught myself, and you know me.
It is one of the most natural. That's one of the more intuitive confusions I can get behind, though.
Yeah, and you've known me long enough where you've heard me probably the entire time we've hung out be like, "Yeah, I'll meet you at noon 30."
Yeah.
And I say that.
So the reason you say is noon and midnight are very distinct versus 12 a.m., 12 p.m., which are distinct, but also could be. Also, if we all just switch to, and I'm not going to say a big push on this because I'm fine with 12 a.m., p.m., but you know what makes sense? The 24-hour cycle, calling things 16:30. If we just literally treated things like one fucking 24-hour cycle.
I'm never going to do that.
I'm never going to either. Well, I mean, I know it well enough because I have to deal with it with tech stuff. But like, I totally get like when people are like, 16:30. I'm like, yeah, I'm not about to say that.
To avoid all confusion, no matter who I talk to, not just you, all humans. I'll be
midnight.
I'll be like, I'll meet you at noon 30. Meet you at midnight, or I fell asleep at midnight 30.
I will say though, like I can get that because I think that's also a little bit more like.
Is 12:30 at night?
Well, so
is that really midnight?
So that's the other thing because it's 12:30.
12:30 a.m.
So really, so there really is no such thing as 12:30 at night, but there really is because 12:30 in the morning is really 12:30 at night. That's why that one gets confusing.
PM means
that's
night.
Why that one gets confusing. That's why. But I also call like 1 at night, which is 1 a.m., which is 1 a.m. in the morning.
But no, it's 1 a.m. in the morning.
Exactly.
It's not.
Yeah. So 1 a.m. is let the person determine whether that's night or morning for them.
Yeah, I will
if
say
you say 1 a.m.
I will say 1 a.m., 2 a.m., p.m.
Yeah.
Or I'll do them all. When it comes to 12,
midnight.
Nope, it's noon something or midnight something.
I actually
quarter past midnight, quarter past noon.
I don't think it's uncommon.
I've said noon 15 to you before.
I don't think it's uncommon to where I'm totally on board with that, and I think I do a lot of the similar because I think it's actually more common for people to not hear those. It's not that they get them mixed up. If they think about them, they're like, oh, I know what those are, but they don't think about it. They're like, oh yeah, like at 12 a.m. They might just hear 12 a.m., 12 p.m. Literally, I mean. Somebody might be like, why are you asking me to meet you at midnight?
12 a.m. sounds to me like noon, because that's a.m. is morning, and noon is closer to morning.
But it's not. It's now. If
I wake up at 7 in the morning, noon a.m.
The most morning,
is closer to.
But the most morning you can ever get is 12 a.m. That's the most morning you can get.
But that's literally the depth of night.
But you and I are up at that time.
It's the center of night.
You and I are up at that time, and that's night to us. Yes, dude. 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
is night.
I'll never change the way I talk about it. Never.
As far as I'm concerned, 4 a.m. is where morning starts.
Yeah.
Everything up until then is 3 at night.
Thread of light.
3 at night, because guess what? 3 p.m. is not 3 at night. 3 p.m. is 3 p.m. 3 in the afternoon. So there's no what? There's no 3 at night? Yes, there is. There's just no 3 in the morning? Yes, there is. Those are relative to how... we're getting to a lot of stories today.
You and I watch a lot of horror.
Yes.
As a fun thought experiment, and the next time you're watching any vampire media movie, see how they refer to day and night and midnight. See if they do any kind of...
Have you done this, or are you just saying?
I'm saying we
should
do this.
Okay, empty promise. We're gonna do a vampire study.
Says like I don't know. Just
you know what? Let's take this as like an empty promise / reason for us to go watch some vampire movies.
There we go.
Because I honestly there's some that I've not seen because there's certain subgenres of the horror medium that I'm not crazy about.
At night.
I don't know.
Or do they say 12 in the morning?
Good excuse to rewatch Renfield. Did we ever Renfield? Did we ever talk about Renfield? Whatever it was.
Nope.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I had a lot of fun with it. People should like it.
We might have. Actually,
I think we may have.
We might have because we interviewed the writer of the movie, Ryan Ridley.
Yeah, did we though? Did we mention it?
Yes, we interviewed Ryan Ridley.
Yeah. What did we though? I don't know. Is that just another Mandela effect, or was I just drunk when we did it?
Yeah, we interviewed Ryan Ridley back when he was the head writer of Rick and Morty before he became the head writer of Invincible on Amazon, and then Renfield. And for all I know, other stuff I've enjoyed. He is a damn good writer.
Yeah. But and this is an Adam McKay production. Who
and the fact that he got in bed with Adam McKay means his career is going to skyrocket.
Yeah, I think there's some more with him.
Great, which I think it did middling.
I think, but it was appreciated for
the reception for it was mid.
I think maybe box office wise it didn't do great, but
it was a good movie, and I think it's one
it
of
was funny.
Classics.
It was way funnier than I expected it to be. That's for sure.
Once it's streaming, I think it's going to become a cult classic.
I think there's going to be a lot of people who skipped it in the theaters because like theaters are like people are either going to see the little guys or the big guys. This was a middle one. Yeah, I was like, listen, it's playing right down the road.
You talked
me and a mutual friend were already going to see it.
I would have skipped it.
Come
I would
on.
have hurt the
Your
box
wife's at work.
office.
We're going to do this. Let's go see it. Let's fucking have a good time. And
Another classic Jeremiah. Your wife's at work. Let's go do things she doesn't know about. Like watching vampire movies.
That's as badass as I am nowadays. Yeah, I'd be like, I'd love to just like do some reverse coolies with you. But you know what? We got vampire movies to watch. Can't we do both? No, we're going to the theater for this.
Hey, this weekend you want to get hookers? Why? Carpool lane. Like the safest bad friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, honey, Jeremiah decided to get hookers this weekend. I totally didn't agree with it, but we saved so much money on tolls.
Oh, God, yeah. I didn't realize
they were so nice.
I didn't realize the budget for Renfield was as high as it was. Otherwise, it probably
was it too high?
Ridiculous.
How
for that
high?
movie.
Give me a number.
$65 million for that.
Oh, that's
movie.
not bad. It's not bad.
For that movie, that should have been a $12 million movie.
I thought you were gonna. Well, Evil Dead Rise was $20 million.
Yes.
So
Renfield didn't.
You could see the budget though, because not only did they hire Evil Dead Rise had no famous people in it.
Nicolas Cage probably was $10 million of it right off the bat.
And so was Pretty Boy there, and then John Ralphio and Aquafina.
Yeah,
the cast alone.
But it made about $25 million at the box office. So
it tanked.
So it would have had to, like, that's the thing about a $65 million movie like that. The reason you can't make that movie for $65 million, it has to make about $130 million to break even.
Yeah.
So that movie is not going to make $130 million because dude, Jordan Peele movies barely make that much. Smile was a movie that got really, but guess what? That movie cost $10 million to make, or $20 or whatever.
They were trying to go for action, horror, comedy, trying to mash up three genres.
Yes, yeah. They could have. I mean, I get it. You need Nicolas Cage. That guy probably was half the budget. So I mean, but like the rest of it, literally could have been done. I'm not. But you have to know.
I do.
That
get
movie's
that.
not going to break that. Is not going to make that kind of money, which is too bad because that was a good enough movie. They should make more of that style. But they're like, no, this is going to be now an assessment on the entire style. So we're never going to make one of those again.
Evil Dead Rise was $20 million to make, and it made $160 million worldwide.
That fucking killed.
Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell have already said publicly that it is now a franchise, and they're going to make an Evil Dead film every 2 to 3 years.
Well, and because I listened to something with and Brett actually Lee Cronin.
It's always been a franchise. That pissed me off.
Lee Cronin, the director, was also talking about this essentially, and he had Raimi's blessing with this, and actually the reason Raimi hired him was because he wanted to go in such a different direction. His thing was like, I want this to be a franchise builder. So, what he said, a universe builder. I hate universes, but essentially a franchise builder.
Evil Dead's already a universe.
Yeah,
it already has and now has 4 movies, a TV
show. But I always think of universes when like other things are like somebody else like. Oh, Doctor Strange is now part of the blah 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 universe. No.
I think his introduction of the 3 Necronomicons.
Yes.
The 3 books of the dead. I think right there is your franchise building.
And just showing that
could have nothing to do with Ash, nothing to do with the people in this movie. It could be the 3rd book.
And as long as you don't destroy the book, like in no spoilers in this one, but there's a reason why even this specific situation could happen yet again. Like the way that it happens, like it happened to people, the people it's no longer happening to, but guess what? The evil is still right there for somebody else to discover it. And it's going to be discovered again. I like the thought of it like opening up as a larger world and also a more one-off, almost anthological franchise. Where like, okay, like we were talking before, like I would love to see another historical one. Like Army of Darkness is great. Let's do another one back in the like. Let's do some not prequels, but let's do some historical ones.
I got you here. This is what I want to see personally. I want the 3rd book. And I want to be back in time, but not that far back. I want like 1950s nuclear family suburbia.
Yeah.
Suburban neighborhood.
And even film it like Pleasantville when it goes to color, like real pastel, bright, like
suburban neighborhood.
Like or Fallout, like that style of.
And they find the 3rd book in that neighborhood, and it goes through the different houses, fucks with all the people. Basically. Take one street in suburbia, and that's where it happens.
Yeah.
So we narrow it down: cabin, high rise, one street in suburbia.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a good juxtaposition.
And the thing I like about the one street thing is one of a movie I can't recommend
Possessor?
enough is actually that's actually pretty cool too. But the movie not to be confused with Terrifier,
that's
too, which is great. But Terrified. The movie,
the one with the shower scene.
So Terrified.
That's what I was thinking of.
So Terrifier or the clown movies.
Possessor?
Possessor was the Brandon Cronenberg movie, sci-fi horror that came out recently.
Okay, I was thinking of Terrified.
Terrified, yeah. So that was and it was an Argentinian movie. It's on Shudder still.
God, such a good movie.
Such a great movie, but the concept of a haunted neighborhood versus a haunted house or a haunted person, a curse or whatever. This is a haunted neighborhood. This like that. What sold me on it? Do that with fucking the demons the Deadites of
introduce them into one street.
Yes. And they just decimate this one little suburban street. In suburbia, especially those places were closed off. Like, people in the community were there. Nobody drove through them. They were like, you had to go to this cul-de-sac and go there. Like, so that whole thing could happen in a vacuum.
Yeah.
In a vacuum. And like, and the entire fucking village could be, like, the community overnight demolished. And then somebody's driving through, like, a kid from, college coming home, or a kid from the, from the military coming home to visit, like, the family. And the whole fucking place is a fucking wasteland and just decimated. And the evil's still out there because whatever happened, maybe somebody escaped. The evil's still there to be rediscovered again. Do it every time. I'm not huge on, immediately huge on franchises, but when they're done right, and so far it's been, as far as I'm concerned, a home run, every single thing Evil Dead has ever done. Games,
no fails.
TV,
no fails so far.
Movies, reboots, everything perfect so far.
Fails.
As long as Sam Raimi has his dirty fucking little fingers in him that fingered little boys. Oh, did you know that Sam Raimi got... No.
I was like, what?
I'm not fake me tooing Sam Raimi. I love that guy way too much.
Hey, little boy, I'm going to make you my pudding pop. Ted, film this.
Yeah. Actually, no. So I actually
I just rewatched the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy this past week.
Oh, nice.
They hit Disney Plus, and I was like, you know what? I don't like those movies, but I want to rewatch them. The campiness and all the...
Is it okay now?
It's better now than when I watched them originally. I appreciate the campiness. I watch it now for the Sam Raimi shots. 45 minutes into Spider-Man 2, the hospital scene with Dr. Octopus waking up, that is Evil Dead. That is an Evil Dead scene ripped out of Evil Dead 2, 3, Rise, whatever.
Yeah.
Just put into a Spider-Man film. Just that one, like...
The thing, like, every once in a while, like almost anything of Raimi's you watch has a little bit of Raimi stank on it at some point.
Oh, that was a big stank.
Like,
I was like, oh my God,
point,
I'm waiting for someone to pull out a... Oh, no. Someone did pull out a chainsaw in that scene even.
God,
like, he really homed it in.
The other thing, like, the thing I love about him, he's always got those roots. He's never ran away from them. And for him to really appreciate it when other people are taking it on, I would recommend for people who like Evil Dead and especially Evil Dead Rise, Mick Garris's podcast, Postmortem with Mick Garris, had a great interview with Lee Cronin and his background, but he talks about how he got the gig as a guy who literally did one fucking movie, Hole in the Ground, prior to that movie, and it was a tiny little Irish film for like $1 million fucking budget.
It's on HBO. Oh, it's on Max.
It is Max. It's on Max.
I added it because my wife never saw it.
I still haven't seen it. You watched it. It was.
You haven't seen it?
It was a good little Changeling movie. Yeah,
it's a great movie.
Yeah. Yes, it's been on my list forever. It rose. I
saw it when it came out.
It rose to the top of the list when I realized it was that guy. And anybody was like, it's literally the opposite of that. He's like, the Hole in the Ground is a whisper on the back of your neck. Evil Dead Rise is batshittery. He's proven that like that
Hole in the Ground's a slow burn, but not a bad one.
But Sam
Raimi,
like. Yeah. Not like a bad one like I like.
It's a slow burn that I could handle.
Yeah. Which for me means it's probably like a fucking fast-paced thriller.
It's like Ant-Man 3.
Yeah. It didn't have a 40-minute fucking nap sequence. I'm not into it. Those are my slow burns. So before we go, because we're not going to get web dropping. So
can I finish my shark story?
Okay. So finish. Actually, no. Let me go from this because
it bit him. That's where it ends.
Okay. That's the end of it.
Literally the end of the story, so I'm done with my story.
I just wanted to mention, we were just mentioning Raimi and Ted Raimi and all this kind of stuff. I just read in Bloody Disgusting that Ted Raimi is in an ambitious, violent, single-take thriller that is debuting at Cannes. I think it actually already has, called Failure. So that's a new, sounds like kind of a highbrow, I mean, if it's a horror movie, a thriller at Cannes, Calm or whatever that fucking Frenchies pronounce it. But Ted Raimi back in it.
I kept thinking, like, did they pronounce it that way? But I don't know another way to say it.
No, I hear all Americans. I hear say Cannes. We're saying Cannes. I know, of course they don't. They're French. They have a beautiful language. We don't. It's gonna be. They're gonna say it in this weird little froggy way, and I'm not gonna be able to say it.
Probably just con.
Yeah, con.
Like the thing.
You'll never say it right.
The consonant after the last vowel usually has a weird inflection or is dropped entirely.
It definitely seems like it'd be a con, like con, or but anyway, like Cannes. We call it Cannes in the States,
like beret.
So Cannes. Ted Raimi has a movie called Failure that is a thriller. awesome to see him stay in that kind of space. Ted Raimi's awesome. He deserves all the attention. Obviously, he was playing cans. It means it's got probably a little more of like a highbrow, but like, I mean, so did Titane, and like those, it doesn't mean they can't be fucking brutal. Possessor, those kind of movies that are all at these indie film festivals, not just genre film festivals, but crossover.
I still need to watch Titane. It's still in my list.
It's a fucking weird movie, dude. I mean, I loved it, but
I guess
like,
I've been trying to figure out a
weird.
night where I'm in the right headspace for something just,
Here's the thing: you'll never be in the right headspace for that.
Okay, good to know.
But I guess what you're saying, like, if you just want to watch a popcorn flick, throwaway, don't pay attention, be on your phone, don't watch that one.
Okay.
If you want to watch something maybe a little bit more like Possessor
my
or whatever, I would say a little more like Possessor or Infinity Pool or something like that.
Okay, my tastes vary incredibly. Like, I have to be in the right mood to watch anime.
I
have to be in the right mood to watch straight up comedy.
So, dude, I actually just ate $6 because a month ago I rented a movie on Amazon.
I was gonna say, because you can't afford food, you could have spent that $6 on food.
Thinking about like a week of ramen noodles. Instead, you just got food poisoning. Is it food poisoning? I don't know. It's dollar poisoning.
It's fiber.
Yeah, I've been shitting. It was all in quarters. It was all in quarters too. So it was pretty filling.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, you could have gotten them switched to pennies and made.
I just hear someone say I ate $6.
No, I thought of it immediately too, and I said I was like, okay, yeah, here we go. Here comes the ribbon.
Look at this guy's got jokes.
Hey, I gotta set you up. You'll fucking knock them down, baby. That's what we do. But yeah, so I like a month ago, I rented a movie I was excited about on Amazon Prime, and then I read a little bit more about it. I'm like, okay, I'm really excited about this still, but I'm not in the headspace to watch it. Yeah. Literally, yesterday was the last time I had to watch it by like 5 p.m., and I was like, I'd never gotten the headspace to watch it, so I just let it lapse, and it was just like, mostly because I forgot about it. I reminded like at some point in the month I was definitely in the headspace to watch it. Forgot that I rented it, and then the last week I was like, I wonder how long I have, and it was like Saturday when I was at that gig. I wasn't gonna be back home till Sunday. It's like you have until like Sunday at 4 p.m. to like hit play on this movie. Then you have 48 hours to watch it. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll do that. I'll hit play.
Yourself
so I hit play like a last minute, but like last night at like 8 p.m. it like, or like 5 p.m. it lapsed, and I was like, it was sunny out. I was out for a walk. I'm like, I could go back and fucking watch this movie, and it's like, I'm like, and then I'm gonna force myself to watch something. I'm like, no, I want to enjoy it. I'll wait till it comes on regular streaming. It's called Ennis, Maine. It's a weird fucking non-narrative folk horror from Cornwall. It's weird.
I did a similar thing, and this is going to be the end of the show, I guess. I'm looking at the time. With Birdman, with Michael Keaton. Yes. It was on HBO Max.
Still never seen it.
And I wasn't sure if it would still exist when Max changed over. So I said, fuck it, I'm just going to watch it.
Yep.
I have no opinion on it. It's a movie.
The thing
I didn't love it.
Honestly, the thing that I know the most about it is that it was filmed in one take because of the It's Always Sunny Philadelphia episode that parodied that one take episode.
Yeah.
Which also I bet was probably better than Birdman.
If you want to watch a movie like Birdman and enjoy it, watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's a similar feel.
I can't believe I haven't seen that yet. I just need to watch that.
That movie.
It's just on Showtime.
That movie blew my mind, and I can't imagine another movie topping it in the next, say, 10 years.
It blew everybody's mind, and the fact that I haven't seen it is embarrassing. Like, and the problem is because it's only on Showtime right now. But I'm like, I'm gonna rent it, or I can get it pirated somewhere or whatever.
The fight scene where the bad guys figure out that butt plugs give them power, and then do these ridiculous, like, Marvel-style action sequences where they jump through windows, do flips in the air, jump over desks, and then land ass down on a butt plug, and then get up and fight with dildos. It's a nutso movie.
When did you watch that one? Did you watch it shortly after it came out, or what?
I watched it after I came back from California because it was an in-flight movie, and it just won the 59 Emmys it won?
Grammys.
Grammys.
No, Grammy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. No. Academy Awards.
There
Oscars.
we go.
Grammys are music. Emmys are TV.
59 Oscars
I love it when I was busy and I corrected you with the wrong thing. I correct you with Emmys all the time. You're always calling like things like
I don't know
Golden
awards.
Globes.
I don't care about awards, so I don't know. But
honestly, the only reason I really know the Oscars is because I watch the Oscar special by Tim Heidecker on Cinema every year. I watch that live. I pay them $60 a year to get their streaming service, which is absolutely worth it because I get to, if it was just that one thing I got to see every year, I would pay $60 to watch their 3-hour-long Oscar special, which barely ever touches on anything at the Oscars. It's usually Tim Heidecker getting to some weird fucking new scam, trying to like drink, like drinking like leech water recently anyway, on cinema at the cinema. But so the only reason I even know about the Oscars is because of that. And it's
Gotcha.
but I also know the Emmys are TV and the Golden Globes are a combination, I believe. And nobody cares about them.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is worthy of all the awards it got. I cannot believe it won awards. Just the butt plug scene alone. I cannot believe those old fuddy-duddies.
Yeah.
We're watching and going, yeah, this deserves all the Academy's awards. That guy just double suplexed himself in a dildo, then helped shove another one up his friend. And then,
well, I think a lot of it has to do with like the Academy is still like it's very shitty and whatnot. But I will say so much of the criticism they've had in recent years of Oscars so white, all this kind of stuff of like, and then they're like, well, we nominated more black movies, we nominated more people of color in movies, and they're like, yeah, well, you still give the Green Book the fucking Oscar, but like
that's why they gave that movie all the awards, and then also slipped in Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, we got one white one.
Yeah, we got a good one. We got
one white girl in there.
Yeah, there's
Jamie Lee Curtis was amazing.
And Brendan Fraser too, right? Brendan Fraser won.
For The Whale,
yeah. So we got a couple of whiteys in there.
No, Jamie Lee Curtis also deserves her award as the one of the villains of the movie.
But I do like this movie is the one that got Short Round out of retirement, right?
Yeah, so and he was great in it too.
Yeah, and just talking about how and I geek out on like any like positive stuff. The fact that it was like Harrison Ford delivering one of the I can't remember which award, but one of the ones they won where he got to like
mumbler,
where he got to where he got to like actually see. And the best one. Yeah.
I
think it's me.
Everyone wants me in Star Wars.
Yeah, but seeing him like actually like reunite. I'm sure he's known him and hung out with him before, but seeing him actually like give Short Round the fucking award and like and talk to him in his ear and like talk about so like they're still
connected. Love you gook.
Yeah.
He just walks off. What did he just say?
Yeah, he just like whispered in my ears like Dr. Jones, no more parachute. Yeah, that's right. It was still he was great in those, but
he said racist shit into Short Round.
Yeah. Dr. Jones, no more parachute. He just fucking mumbles it. Anyway, with that being said, I think I want to watch this movie, and I think I can get my free trial of Showtime through Amazon Prime. I don't think I've used that up yet, so I'm going to do that. And,
do it for that and for Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets, I want to see. Yes, you're right.
We're caught up on that at home.
You're right. I've wanted to see that. It's gotten fucking a lot of acclaim. Okay,
hey,
good. That's
once Elijah Woods enters a horror show, know it's going to get good.
Oh, yeah, Elijah's a fucking horror icon
show.
Now,
Don't think for 1 second it's not horror.
I know. I've heard enough about it. It's just the only reason I haven't watched it because it's on Showtime. So I'm going to go and watch Showtime.
We have free Showtime through Kelly's college, and guess what? We've only watched Everything, All at Once, and Yellow Jackets on it because there's nothing to watch on Showtime.
There was one other thing I bumped into. I'll figure out what it is and send you a link to it. There's one other thing that was kind of
Please, because it's the worst streaming service on earth.
Yeah. There's a reason I don't even bother.
Stars is better. Actually, I'm not even saying that jokingly. Stars is actually better.
Yeah, Stars has something I wanted to watch too.
Well, it had Asher's Evil Dead for a while, but
that's actually I'm pretty sure.
Does. No, Netflix lost it. Now Amazon
has it, which is awesome because I have that. I don't have Netflix, but so I'm going to rewatch it now that it's on something I have. But also Stars, Party Down. Probably the other great thing.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And I have not watched the new season of that because I don't have Stars, but I'm going to watch it.
New season of that is absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Of course it is. It's a fucking, look at the knockout cast.
All right.
Anyway, everybody.
We're rambling.
Yeah, we're rambling. Nobody's listening anymore. Get lost.
Get lost.